Hi, it's Theresa Wellman here with homeownerexperience.com with your December 2018 Santa Clara County market update. So what's the buzz this month? Well, what is a normal market? I hear a lot of people talking about that. They hear a lot of hearsay, so I wanted to dispel all those myths in a Theresa style. So we are definitely headed into a more normal housing market. There's been a noticeable change throughout 2018. Home sales numbers are slightly down, the rate of appreciation has definitely slowed, multiple offers are not the norm, and inventory has been increasing. But the good news, inventory did crest here and it is now seasonally decreasing like a normal market. Good news. But I still find that many buyers and sellers are not really sure what's happening. Some people are seeing these market adjustments as red flags and are suggesting we're heading into a crash or a market like 2008. So in my typical style, let's look at the data. The National Association of Realtors says that 6 months or 180 days of inventory is a balanced buyer-seller market, meaning there's an even negotiating field for buyers and sellers. So mathematically, days of inventory is actually how many days that it takes to sell all the inventory at the current rate of sales. So in Silicon Valley, we know we have a very different market. Yes, it's different than nationwide for sure. So let's talk about what's the Silicon Valley normal a little bit and put it in a little context. So the average days of inventory for the years of 2014, 15, and 16 was 46 days. Now, 2017 was a weird year and it led into the early 2018 where we also had a very crazy market. So let's put that in context. In June 2017, we had 21 days of inventory. In December 2017, we had 12 days of inventory. Now, that is the lowest number I've ever recorded since January 2000. That is a very low days of inventory for this area. But then we experienced a change in the market this spring. We all know that. I've talked about it if you've been watching my videos. And in June 2018, we had 32 days of inventory. So still very reasonable compared to the recent past, still a great market, but a definite change from those 12 days in January. So the data says it, 2017 and early 2018 were not a typical market if we look at the recent past. Now, well, what about the years leading up to 2008 and that big market crash? How do we compare to that? Well, days of inventory in January 2007 was 125, a whole different level. January 2008, 411 days of inventory. Wow. November 2008, or 10 years ago, was 267 days of inventory. So how does that compare to today and the market we have today? So the stats for November 2018, Santa Clara County was 44 days of inventory. Now, remember I said the average from 2014, 15, and 16 was 46? I mean, what do you think? That's a pretty normal market, right? I think the data tells us our answer. Now let's look at the rest of the stats for November 2018 for Santa Clara County. The median price was $1.25 million, again, seasonally down. The average was $1,547,000. The Santa Clara County average days on market, or how long a property sits before it gets a contract and gets sold, it was 30. Now, everybody feels like that's the end of the world, but nationally, compared to nationwide stats, that is still an amazing market. Our list price to sales price ratio was 100.4%. Still, again, over asking on average. That's, again, amazing compared to the national market. But of course, every area is different, and these are county-wide averages. So check out the data specific to your neighborhood at homeownerexperience.com/stats. And if you're thinking of buying and selling and want me to help you interpret your local area stats, reach out to me. That's why I'm here. Now let's go back to those red flags, or what some people are saying, like we're heading into a market like 2008. As I mentioned earlier, the data says it clearly that is not the case. In fact, today's Silicon Valley stats are still an amazing market. And like I said, to put in context of most of the country, it's phenomenal. Comparing it to 2008 here in Silicon Valley with over 200 days of inventory to today 44, again, we're not even close to a market leading up to 2008. So I think we are in a normal market. I think all those hearsayers saying we have red flags are maybe a little off from the data. So another thing to consider is the market is different, but also those mortgage levels. In 2008, leading into that market, we had very unhealthy mortgage levels. People buying with zero down, low down payment, using equity to buy fun things, not spend it on their house. And today, the data report, I'll post the link on my website, stated that almost 50% of all homes nationwide have at least 50% equity. In Silicon Valley, it might even be more because we've had such appreciation. And so these people will not be walking away from their homes like happened in 2008 if the market begins to soften because they've got added equity cushion. So study the chart on my website at homeownerexperience.com/market update, and you'll be able to see the trends since 2000. If you have any questions, please reach out, call, text, or email me with your specifics. And now is the time to plan for a move for next spring. So I look forward to talking with your friends, family, or yourself if you're planning that move, so we can build up a strategy and a timeline that works best for you. I appreciate all your personal connections, and until next month, happy holidays and Merry Christmas.